Well, for once, we're early. I'm just going to go on right now, seconds before the actual start time. Would you look at that, guys? Look at that. Welcome to the PulseChain Positivity Podcast. Oh, I'm your host, the Wild SJ, and I've got myself on a double speed, apparently, on the YouTube. So what is it, Saturday? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Everyone's out and about doing things, and I'm enjoying the sunset. You know what? I'm gonna share this sunset with y'all real quick because it's quite lovely. Here, let me show you what's going on right outside there. Would you look at that? Let's see if we can get. There's hard to see through the spray paint a little bit, but I am at one of my harvest hosts here in Texas, the great state of Texas, ladies and gentlemen, as Crypto Heartbeat says, and I'm sure many other Texans. I told Heartbeat, I sent him a message and I said, I drove past your area and waved in your general direction. So I hope he's doing well. Looking forward to Austin. He is going to be speaking at the Austin PulseChain event. And that is after the Dallas meetup. So yeah, I'm in Texas, y'all. I'll never forget the first time I said y'all. So in case you didn't know, I grew up in Southern California. Lived there, let's see, for many a year. I think I moved to Austin in 2008. That feels right. That feels right. And so I've been there for nearly 16 years. I can't count. 15 years. 15 years. And that's a good chunk of time, you know? I've been telling people recently about the fact that after Austin, after our meetup in Austin, we have our meetup in or the conferences in Austin, meetup in Phoenix, and then we're going to this Cabo cruise out of Los Angeles. And since I grew up in Southern California, but I've been away for 15 years, I just decided it's about time to hang out in Cali again. Going back to, you know how it goes. My family's all out there still. And my niece is 16 years old, right? So she was just a little baby when I left Cali. So I think it's time to just hang out in California, spend more time with my parents. They're getting older, and I know it's important to, right, spend that time with them while you can. So I definitely intend to do that. Not sure how long I'm going to get to stick around in California, because hopefully, bull market willing, we continue this PulseChain tour into next year. That is the momentum that the team has right now. We're really looking forward to continuing the tour and bringing more people to the PulseChain Richard Hart ecosystem, teaching them about how Hex is the GOAT and how you can be financially free. I ran into a couple people at a coffee shop today, and I love this bus, y'all. Oh, hold on. Let me backtrack real quick. First time I ever said y'all. I moved from Southern California to Austin, Texas. I had been working at a Starbucks in California, in Irvine, California, transferred to a Starbucks in Austin, Texas, and had just the best coworkers. Everyone was fantastic. Well, I want to say I had been working there for maybe 2 months, probably about 2 to 3 months. And I will never forget this moment. I went to turn around and do something. And then I turned back to one of my coworkers and I said, "Hey, do y'all have a," and I stopped just like that in the middle of my sentence. And I looked at them. I said, "You guys, that was my first y'all. I just y'alled for the first time." And now I can't, I have to say it. Y'all just makes way more sense than whatever else I used to say before that. So I will forever have y'all in my vocabulary. I am a big fan of that word. And let's see what else. So yeah, so going back to California, excited about the PulseChain tour, hanging out in Texas right now. This is going to be kind of like one of my last little soirees in the Texas area. I have driven the bus. Woo, man, it was a journey. So left Charlotte, drove to Atlanta, had a great time in Atlanta. Thank you again, everyone at the Atlanta Blockchain Center. If y'all haven't had a chance, please follow them on all the socials. I believe it's Atlanta Blockchain Center on Instagram and Twitter. The actual handle is Atlanta Chain on Twitter or X. So check them out for sure. Really, really great things that they're doing out there. And after Atlanta, so they hosted the bus, which was marvelous. It was very, very nice to just be there and be able to plug in and have no issues there in Atlanta. So after Atlanta, I have just been on the road day after day after day. Now, my electrical setup, and I kind of tested it today because I woke up late, and what I've been doing is driving at night because, as I found out again today, the cables that connect each battery to each other and then to my inverter, they're not the right gauge. They're too small. I do have the new cables. I am going to replace them, but I wanted to just get back to Austin and be somewhere where I knew I would just be for, a good amount of time and not have to worry about driving and, doing all these things at the same time. So basically today I woke up a little late. I drove maybe half an hour from my previous stop to a rest stop, stayed there the night, and then woke up and started driving, but I still had a ways to go because I didn't really drive much last night, in part due to drinking some moonshine. Oh dear. I had 2 sips of moonshine. Sips, y'all. I'm not even a gulp. I had 2 this moonshine that was gifted from one of my hosts. And I was all warm and red and a little tipsy. So I drove for I didn't drive tipsy, but I was tired. By the time I got about half an hour outside of where I'd been, I was just like, I can't, I'm done. I'm just gonna rest. So all that to say, as I continued to make my way this morning, oh, we need some cooler weather here in this state. It looks like by the time I get back from Miami, it is going to cool down, but by 10 o'clock, it was already in the 80s. So as I'm driving, I I was like, I should check on the cables and make sure nothing's melting because I have to drive with my AC on. Because I'm like, once it gets above 75 degrees or whatever, it can get up to 85, 90 degrees in here because it's like a little toaster oven, basically. It just gets super hot because this whole thing is metal and it just like absorbs the heat and just I don't know, it's nuts. So anyway, so I have to drive with my AC on, which makes the batteries hot, which makes the cables hot. So I went back there, pulled over real quick, went back there and touched them, and they were hot to the touch. And I was just like, man, this is not good. So I had to turn the AC off and drive kind of in the heat for about an hour to get to where I am now. And this is a lovely little place. I use Harvest Hosts to stay at these places, and it's been great. Everyone's been wonderful because each host that I've stayed at for since I left Atlanta, so nearly a week, I've let them know, hey, I'm going. And usually what you do is you go there, you get there, kind of in the middle of the day or whenever they say is, the spot is available. Most places it's anywhere from, 9 a.m. to whenever. Some places they just don't care. They're like, just come whenever you want, leave whenever you want. But usually you're there to overnight, right? To boondock and to plug in. And this time, because of the way that I've been driving, I've been staying with my host during the day. So I'm plugged in during the heat of the day with my host. So I don't have to, worry about my electric getting all fried and too hot and melting shit. And I stay cool. I get to, just get things done during the day. And then I'll drive once the sun is set, which it just has. So, luckily I only have an hour to go to get to where I'm staying in Austin. So I've just got a tiny little drive after. I'm going to leave right after this and head there. I'm really excited. You guys, I've never been so excited to see a grocery store. Okay. If any of you are from Texas, you'll know what I mean. I saw my first HEB that I hadn't seen in months, and my whole existence lit up because HEB, they're great. If you know, okay? HEB is the best grocery store. Really, they are fantastic. It does make me a little sad that HEBs do not exist outside of this state. So that just made my heart smile. I'm going to just soak up the Texas-ness of Austin and everywhere and just really enjoy it for this next month or so. I'll be in Austin, let's see, just over a month actually. Like a month and a weekish because we need to be in Phoenix on November 18th. So November 18th is the Phoenix meetup, but up until that point, I will be hanging out in Texas. If you're a Texan, if you are in that area, definitely either come to the Dallas meetup that's on the 20th of October. So in 20 days ish. And then there is the Austin meetup, which is I want to say the 7th of November. Let me peruse my calendar. Let's check it out real quick. Events. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen because why not? That's what we like to do here. PulseChain Tour Live, share. Here we go. All right, so PulseChain Tour. So Miami's coming up. Why am I not in Miami right now? Because I didn't want to drive to Miami. I thought it would be better. I've only flown into 2 cities. I flew from Chicago to New York and back to Chicago because I was able to park there and stay there for a little while during the summer, which was wonderful. And then I am doing the same thing for Miami. So driving to Austin, going to fly in and out of Austin to Miami and back, and then continue the tour from there. So Miami's coming up the 7th of October. Dallas is the 20th of October. Austin, the 4th of November. Phoenix, the 18th of November. And then the PulseChain Live Cruise is going to be the 1st of December is when they set sail. The 2nd of December is the Hex birthday. We will be celebrating, can you guys believe it? 4 years. 4 years of uninterrupted, 100% flawless, no hacks, no bugs, no nothing, yield producing magic with Hex. I am so excited. And this will be the 2nd birthday I get to celebrate. I don't think I was there for the 2nd birthday. Right, because Hex launched in December of 19. Is that correct? You can correct me if you want to. Okay, let me remove this screen. There we go. So let's say what's up to the chat. Ding, 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 ding. Francis Powell is first. Francis Powell says hello all. Hello, Francis. Thank you for joining. Russ says hi, you guys. Hello, Russ. D-Raj says namaste. Namaste, D-Raj. Good to see you. Let's see. Johnny B3HD says, hey, SJ and everyone else. Hello. Hello there. Crypto Chillax. Nice. I'm a fan of that name. Crypto Chillax. Welcome. Thank you for joining my show. And howdy. Howdy to you indeed. Chris Side Effects. Sweet friend. Oh, so soon our reunion will be. When are we going to dance? When's the next Drum and Bass show? I'm about it. Is there a weekly in Austin now, or is there a monthly only? I know there's definitely a monthly. Right? When's the next thing? You got to tell me. Side effects says side effects may include massive gains. Side effects of what? Being in Texas? I don't know. You're funny. All right, Chris says, D-Raj, good to see you. All right, cool. Said what's up to everybody. Thank you everyone for watching and for being here. I'm going to get into a little bit of something that is super not my area of expertise, I guess you would say. I am not one to really ever comment on or talk about politics or news, really, in general. I don't watch the news because I think it's a bunch of baloney. But, you know, Elon Musk, Elon. I'm a fan, you guys. I know people are really kind of split, just like Richard, right? Kind of a polarizing figure. I like him. I like what he's doing. I really think that the whole going down to the US border and showing what's going on there. I mean, if Elon can do it, can't more of us? You know? I like this slant or this angle that he's taking with X and how he's wanting it to be the news. He wants X to be, you know, this is where other people get their news from, which I really feel like, having used Twitter for many years now, I think that I feel like that words. I feel as if the platform really kind of did that in the beginning as well. I did go to Twitter. I feel like looking at X, I was able to see more things that I actually cared about, um, and news that mattered more than all the crap they show on just, regular what Elon called it some kind of something media, traditional media? I don't know. I think there's a better word for it, but either way, I like what he's doing. I really think that's awesome, and I hope that more people are able to do that and show really what's going on in different places around the world, because I feel like there's such a vacuum that we don't hear about so much of what is happening and so much of what the true story is in these different places. So, real quick, let's see. Tyndall 10 says, "Thank Jesus Christ for a smart girl like you. Blessed be." And Chris Side Effects says, "Yes, I'm deaf down with Elon too." Chris Side Effects, you need to answer my question. When are we going to dance? When's the next drum and bass show? I mean, I know you don't dance, but seriously, seriously. You need to come, you're probably gonna need to come pick me up so we can go to the next DMB thing. But on that note, I decided to look into Richard's books, and I honestly I should have taken some time to look into Sci-Vive, and I didn't. Mostly because 15 Ways to Fix the World, his other book, little known fact, Richard wrote 2 books, Sci-Vive and 15 Ways to Fix the World. Link to 15 Ways to Fix the World is in the description below, so you can find it there. You can read it there. That PDF is not very well edited, as opposed to Sci-Vive, which was scrutinized and edited and changed a lot. In not a lot. I mean, like, I didn't take the essence of anything Richard said away from it, but we used, instead of using Richard's voice as if he was speaking in the first person, we used Sci-Vive kind of as the voice. So it's like as if Sci-Vive is speaking to you. 15 Ways to Fix the World is very much, you can hear Richard talking when you read it, right? And if you want to listen to it, it is available on Spotify as well as on my YouTube channel. You can just Google 15 Ways to Fix the World audiobook, I think, and it should pop up. So that book is much shorter than Sci-Vive and really goes into, instead of more, I feel like Sci-Vive is more of a personal life hack type book where Richard's just giving you tips on how to be a better person and, Sci-Vive and live longer and benefit the world more. Whereas 15 Ways to Fix the World is really just that. He gives 15 different categories he goes into about, what could be better. What are the different ways that this world could be fixed, right? And I really want to kind of dive into a lot of that content because of what Richard's doing right now, right? People think he's disappeared and that it's not him and there's some bot running his account. And y'all, like, he's being careful. I think he's spending a lot of his time studying right now, studying law. Fun fact, I heard this from Crypto Coffee. He passed the bar? I'm pretty sure. Oh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure that's right, though. Like, he basically could have been a lawyer, but is not. Um, so forgive me if I am misspeaking, but I'm almost positive that's what he said. So with that being said, I'm going to read this short paragraph. And okay, so it's not exactly what Richard would think about what's going on at the border, but it does have to do with the border and people's rights. And I actually asked Brandon Rags to Riches to come on tonight, but he's busy. He's doing 3 DJ gigs tonight. So he's out there working hard. And because I thought he would be the best person to kind of help me unpack this, because again, this is not my area of expertise. I am not into like politics or government really much at all, but I want to know more, especially because of what Richard's doing with the SEC, right? He told us to write these, what was it? Complaints? Remember? You guys see, I can't even like think of the word of what Richard is trying to tell us to do, right? Kind of on behalf of Hex and on behalf of this lawsuit. Richard put out a challenge, or put out a call for us to write these things. And I'm so just like, I saw DOS Bomb actually. He chat GPT'd it and made it like explain like I'm 5. So I need to go back and read that. I just haven't had a chance to do it. I've been busy, real busy with the tour and doing a bunch of other things and trying to get my own content out there. So a little behind on that, but I would like to learn more about it so that I am more educated on that topic, and so that when people do ask me, well, what do you think about what's going on with Richard in the SEC? I'm better prepared to give an answer about all that. What I wanted to read is a very short 2 paragraphs, a couple sentences, not much at all, but I'd love to know, especially if you're watching this right now and you maybe got a little more worldly knowledge, or you know a little bit more about rights and the way borders work, and kind of what's going on there with what Elon was showing us, right? What do you think Richard would feel? Like what do you think Richard thinks about what's going on at the border? Um this is from 15 Ways to Fix the World. I am going to read, let's see. There's no I can't see the chapter titles, but basically the title of this section is just borders. So if you want to read what I'm reading or find it later, go to 15 Ways to Fix the World. PDF is linked in the description, or it's also in t.me/scivive, which is Richard's Telegram group for these such things. And you can find it there. I'd love to know what you think. So this is from Richard talking about the borders. And I went into ChatGPT, and we're going to talk about that after this so that I wanted to understand it better. So it says borders. There should be Miranda rights for border crossing. If you're going to have fair execution of human rights at borders, and if you're going to consider borders about 50% of the land mass that contains 50% of the population of the United States, then it shouldn't be a constitution-free zone. Let me pause right there. After I read that, and I did this ChatGPT stuff, I did some Google searching too, just so I could understand this better. I actually found out that, and I don't know, I would have to fact check this, but because this was written longer ago, like 7, 8 years ago, Richard said 50% of the landmass that contains 50% of the population of the United States. What I just read recently was that it actually contains 2/3 of the population of the United States lives within that border zone, right? So all around the borders of the US, 2/3 of us live within that zone. Now, the next sentence, it's just one more sentence. He says, there should be Miranda rights so that people aren't accidentally waiving their rights against their own best interest. And particularly since this is an obvious violation of mass surveillance treaties that we've signed as parties to the United Nations. So I love reading this kind of stuff because, for one, I don't understand some of it. Okay. Politics, government, that kind of stuff. It was not something I was interested in school. Again, that's why I wanted Rags to Riches to come on. I feel like he's got a really great understanding and grasp of the history of our nation and how these kinds of things work. So maybe I can get him to comment on this later on, do a reaction video or something. I don't know. But I'd be super intrigued to find out what he thinks about what Richard says here. So let me, real quick, before I go on and read what I found in ChatGPT, I'm going to go back to the chat because I saw some more folks. So Johnny, let me go back here. Chris says, yes, I'm definitely down with Elon too. Sweet. Johnny B3HD says, SJ, if you're ever in the Salt Lake area again, make it Miriam so she go dancing with you. Yeah, girl, let's go dancing. Is there dancing in Salt Lake though? I've been there once. I've been to Salt Lake. I was in Salt Lake. Y'all, get this story. I'll just a little background into SJ's life. I was very, very much a born-again Christian at one point. I am no longer. That may make some of you sad. However, that's my life. In that time, I went to Salt Lake City to try to convert Mormons to Christianity because my dad's a Mormon. Years and years later, I apologized to my dad because I remember one time as a very on fire Christian telling my dad, who is a Mormon, that he was going to hell. So years later, after I left all that religion type stuff, I apologized to my dad. I told him, "Hey," like, "Yeah." Like, "I'm so sorry for, being like that and telling you that." And, he didn't even remember that I had told him, that that was gonna happen. But bless his heart. Anyway, so Salt Lake, the only thing I know of Salt Lake is the temple. Like, honestly, like, I went there and visited the temple and, like, we walked around and, like, talked to Mormons about Jesus. So, we'll have to find and I do kind of remember there being, this cool underground scene. I mean, isn't, SLC Punk, right? That's all based in Salt Lake. So I'd be intrigued to find out what kind of, electronic music or music scene in general, club scene there is out there in Salt Lake City. Very intrigued. And I'm sure I'll be up there at some point, Miriam, for sure. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. I love dancing. Class, crypto class. Good morning. Mwah. Hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Hey, I haven't had a chance to hit you up yet, but RG3 wants to stream with you. So we got to make that happen on your channel. I'll probably reach out in case you're not watching this still. But anyways, Chris Side Effects says, I heard that too, SJ. I'm so behind. What did you hear? I decided I'm not reading people talking to one another anymore. You're gonna flip when you see how long my hair is now. Ooh, are you pulling a Larry? You got a ponytail? Huh? What's going on there? I'm so excited to see you, friend. Moondog says, Richard asked us to participate in public comments. Thank you. Public comments for crypto regulators, legislators' consideration. Cool. Thank you, Moondog, for that. All right. So public announcement. Public comments are due by October 30th for potential public hearing, November 7th or 8th. 7th and 8th. There was also a suggestion to run your ideas through AI or chat bots to help polish, which I absolutely would have to do because I don't even know where to start with this. So I want to look into that more. I definitely want to learn what that even means. Again, I got to find the tweet that DOS Bomb did because he like explained like I'm five chat GPT'd it and I didn't have a chance to read it. So if anyone actually has that post or can help me figure out what to do and what to write, or you have an example that I can follow, please message me or leave a comment below with that information because I really would love to do that. I'm great at writing. I just need to know what I'm writing. I just really want to understand, what the action item is, right? Like what we're trying to say and what the point is that we're trying to get across when we're writing these comments. So please would love. What the RG3? There's a captain up in here. Thank you. Thank you. Yo. Soon meet, friend. Yes, soon meet. I'm excited. Moondog says, also, anytime dancing is on the table or there's just a table available, 0% chance I can find a way to shoehorn some dancing on it. Glad to sidekick. 100% Moondog. I know you're not far from the Texas area. I feel like you did, in fact, have quite a journey to get to where you got for that little shindig we had in Georgetown. But I'll keep you posted. I love dancing. It's my favorite thing. That's why I loved Charlotte so much. I went out and saw a band that I loved, and then for the next 3 nights I danced at different clubs, and it was fantastic. Speaking of dancing, let you on a little secret. This pirate, he's got some moves. I'm gonna share a secret with the world. It's true. Seen it. I have seen it. Crypto classes for sure. Oh, good. Awesome. Fantastic. I'm back. Was changing a nappy. Lovely. Welcome back. Chris Side Effects says bear market hair. Man, I likes it. Hey, man, long hair. Honestly, I dig it. I think long hair is hot on dudes. I really do. I think it's a sign of like, remember, like, I mean, at least from what I remember or recall or the stories I've heard, right? Like Indian tribes, right? It's a sign of like your it's your mane, right? Like your lion's mane. Like you just let that grow and right? Like they would only cut their hair if they lost in battle. And then it was like a sign of shame or whatever. So I am for dudes having long hair. Bring it. Thoth's child says, hey, baby sis. Hey, big old bro. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, friend. Thoth says, hey, P.S. I invoked your name of DS Friday. RG says, "Dancing, yes, Austin." Oh, Snapple. I looked at the show list. So there's an Austin show list, and they have every show that happens all the time. Because I was looking for an after event for us for the event for the Austin date, which is November 4th. Didn't really find anything. I did not see any bands that I'm really into. I mean, great music, all up and down 4th, 5th, and 6th Street. There's always some place to go to. We'll have to find out. I'll have to look at the EDM list and see what's going on with EDM that weekend because the show list I don't think usually has a lot of the EDM shows that are going on. So that'll be a whole different thing. So, but hey, if y'all want to see some pirate dancing, Captain's coming to Austin, and he just said dancing, yes, Austin. So that's if you didn't have a reason to, to come to the PulseChain tour event in Austin, Texas. That honestly, Austin's been my home for the last 15 years, so I'm really looking forward to it. I know that there's going to be a huge turnout because we do it. Everything's bigger in Texas, y'all, for real. So please come out. Please come out. Everyone, what's up? Side Effect says, I can dance, but usually make people dance. That's right. In case you did not know, one of our resident Mexican DJs right here. We've got a lot of DJs in the Mexican community. And I love it. I love it. I mean, I could probably name at least 10, but I'm not going to because I'm going to screw it up and not be able to name all 10 of them. But I know that there are at the very least 10 very well, established DJs in our community. Badass. I love it. I love it. RG3 says, lost a loved one. We cut our hair. Yeah. And I think that's not just native, right, or Indian culture, right? That I think that is in several cultures where if people have lost a loved one, they'll shave their head or cut their hair. So yeah, beautiful. I think that again, I think more men should grow their hair out. And Chris says, I'll look into Concourse Project. Please do. I hit B1 up. I told him, hey, bro. Seismic, by the way, Side Effects. It's called Seismic. That's the name of the drum and bass event that's happening the weekend before I leave. So, like, basically, I would love to go to Seismic and then I'll kind of be on my merry way into Phoenix. But let's look into that. Hit Kool-Aid up. Let him know. Anyone else in the Austin area who loves drum and bass and wants to go dance with us, Seismic is happening. You know what? I'm just going to look it up real quick. Who knew this was going to turn into the drum and bass? Let's find out how we're going to dance show. Yeah, so November 10th through November 12th is the Seismic Dance event at the Concourse Project. I am stoked. We definitely need to go. So yeah, that's on the list. All right, so back to the message Richard had about Miranda rights and what's going on at the border. And again, this is way out of my content scope for the most part, but because I want to learn more and I want to be aware of, right, what's going on around us. And I live in Texas. I mean, that's where Elon was. He went down to the border in Texas. For now I live in Texas. So I just wanted ChatGPT to explain some things to me. So I'm going to read you 2 responses from ChatGPT. I said, please break this down for me in a different way. So ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to break down what Richard said. So I took those 2 paragraphs. I said, break this down for me in a different way. ChatGPT says, Miranda rights are essential legal actions in the United States to ensure individuals know their rights when interacting with law enforcement. These rights, including the right to remain silent, that's what many people, when you hear that, those are your Miranda rights that are being read to you. You have the right to remain silent. My father was an officer for LAPD, and I'll never forget, I might have it somewhere. He had this little notebook, and it had the Miranda rights on it that he kept it with him all the time because he'd have to read those. Anyways, these rights, including the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney, exist to prevent people from inadvertently giving up their rights during police questioning. The connection to mass surveillance treaties and international agreements involves the idea that respecting Miranda rights can help uphold privacy and individual liberties on a border scale. By ensuring that individuals are aware of their rights during interrogations, it contributes to a fair and just legal system. which is in line with principles outlined in international treaties like those of the United Nations. In essence, Miranda rights serve as a safeguard against self-incrimination and overreach by law enforcement, promoting transparency and fairness in the legal process, which aligns with broader international principles of human rights and privacy. You guys, I'm fucking telling you, Richard has been about this for years. Look at what he's doing with the SEC right now. Look at what he wants us to do. Look at how he's coming at it. Listen to this, right? Like, he's brilliant. He knows exactly what he's doing. Exactly what he's doing. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's fucking busy. He's so busy with his head in these, looking at laws, probably looking at prior cases, teaching himself, what it is that he's going to be able. I really think he's going to fight it. I really do. Like if I had to bet, I mean, like, I don't know him personally, but goodness, do I know him from reading these books over and over again. And in like dissecting them, right? Because I had to really learn what it was he was trying to say in order to make sure that people could understand what he was trying to say. You know what I mean? So bless your heart, Richard. I'm stoked for you, man. Like, I really hope that you are going to be fighting this thing, and like, more power to you. Like, I want to do everything that I can, which is why I brought this up, and I wanted to, learn about what we can do with those comments, right? All of us can do something. We can all help make a difference. So let's learn about that together. In fact, I think I'll probably stream about that just on its own at another point in time when I understand it better. Maybe when I'm writing my own piece, right? To give people an example, to help kind of, hold someone's hand through that process, because I'm going to need my hand held to understand it at first, right? So then I went on to, let me see, what did I do? Oh, so that was the first paragraph. And then I did the second paragraph as well. So that was just the first part of it. So the second part of it, I said, explain this to me as well. ChatGPT says, the statement you provided highlights a call for extending Miranda rights to border crossings in the United States. Here are some reasons someone might make such a statement. Number one, protection of individual rights. One key argument, and so this is basically to tell you what I'm doing here, is I basically wanted ChatGPT to kind of, go into the mind of Richard. Why would he have said this? What is his point in saying this? Like, what is he trying to get across to us? So this is, and of course, these are not Richard's words. I'm not Richard. This ChatGPT is not Richard, but this is why someone may have said something of that manner. Protection of individual rights. One key argument is that border crossings are important entry points where individuals may be subject to questioning and searches. Extending Miranda rights ensures that individuals are aware of their legal protections, including the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, even in these situations. This protects individuals' rights during interactions with border officials. Consistency with human rights. Number two. Advocates for this idea may argue that treating border crossings as constitution-free zones could be seen as a violation of human rights principles. They might believe that everyone, including travelers at borders, should be entitled to basic legal protections as outlined in the U.S. Constitution and international human rights agreements. Number three, accountability and fairness. And I love it. Like, that's what Richard wants so much on so many levels with so many things. All right. Number three, accountability and fairness. By applying Miranda rights at border crossings, proponents may argue that it promotes fairness and accountability among law enforcement officers. It can help ensure that any potential abuses of power or violations of rights are properly documented and addressed. Number four, kitty cat. Number four, diversity of border regions. The statement mentions that approximately half of the U.S. population resides near the borders, which, like I said earlier, is actually more than that. Advocates might argue that this significant population warrants constitutional protections, especially considering the cultural, economic, and social diversity present in border regions. Number five, and there's six, I'm almost done. Preventing coercion. Having Miranda rights at border crossings can prevent individuals from feeling coerced into answering questions or providing information that may incriminate them. It allows travelers to make informed decisions about what they say during interactions with border officials. Lastly, number 6, legal clarity. Extending Miranda rights to border crossings can provide clarity and consistency in legal procedures across the country. It ensures that people have a clear understanding of their rights, regardless of where they are in the United States. And then it says, in summary, those advocating for Miranda rights at border crossings are typically concerned with protecting individual rights, upholding human rights principles, promoting accountability, and ensuring consistent legal procedures, especially given the significant population residing near the borders. They argue that extending these rights helps maintain a fair and just legal system in these critical areas. I love Richard Hart. I really do. I mean, I've learned so much in the last 2 years about so many different things because I decided to read Sci-Vive and learn who he was and get into this community, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and get into chat real quick here. I'm curious what any of you may think about this. I'm not going to read back and forths between. Oh my goodness, she's upset about that, ma'am. Can I help? Would you like to? Oh, I wonder if can you guys hear her? I know the mic isn't turned towards her, but goodness, the princess is perturbed apparently. All right, so back to here. This is back to our DJ speak. Thoth says, I made more lute, scratch, and hip hop records during my music career than I did live on the stage with my instrument or in the studios. Let's see. I like this. Side effects versus tangent hex D&B battle someday. Let's see. I'm gonna let y'all talk amongst yourselves. No, Chris says, thanks, friend. 20 years now. SJ mentioned B1 earlier who taught me. Oh, right. You're still talking amongst yourselves. Yes, Rush says, thank you, Richard Hart. Going to battle for us, man. And Thoth says, I'm with you, SJ. Does Richard Hart strike any of us as the guy who, just throws in the towel or is satisfied with outcomes that don't crown him? Ma'am, I am streaming live right now. Why do you do this? She just wants attention. All right. Yeah, for real. I mean, he's in it for the glory. He wants to be loved. Those are things he's said over and over and over again. I don't see why he would just pay a fine and move on with life. I don't. If you think that that's what he's doing, tell me why. Tell me why you think he would do that. And of course, none of us knows. We're not going to know until it happens, until he does what he does, which soon. I mean, we got a month. We got a month and a few days until that first phone call, right? Because what I read was there's something's happening on November 28th, which is my birthday. But there's also something happening before that on November 7th or 8th. Moondog, if you want to explain that a little bit more, because it seems like you got a good handle on this, please do in the chat. Also, if you're watching this on the replay and you want to leave a comment about all of this and give me more information, tell me what you think about what Richard's saying here, or do you think he's going to go to battle with the SEC? You think he's just going to pay a fine? I'd love to know what you think and why. Moondog says, thought it was silly hopium of the impatient people, speculating he would kowtow, right? Kowtow to corrupt erroneous claims or charges just for expediency. Expediency of what exactly? Worth a real consideration. 100%. I totally agree with that. I'm gonna skip that. Talks amongst yourselves. Russ says, did you know intrastate, a cop in general can't stop and ID you without a reason, depending on your state and context. But at border crossings, this is exactly what happens. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, ATX Crypto in the house. ATX Crypto says, what's up, my friend? What's up, ATX? Good to see you, friend. Looking forward to seeing you too. I hope you're coming to Dallas and Austin. Both would be awesome, but I'm sure you're going to be in Austin at the very least. Yeah, awesome. Everyone's saying what's up to each other. Super cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Let me take a look at something real quick, friends. I am going to make sure that I'm doing what I said I would do. Okay, so covered the PulseChain tour news and updates a little bit. Maybe talk about that a little bit more because my next topic is more about PulseChain tour. covered Richard Hart and what he thinks he might think of Elon and what's going on at the border. So that's I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I did. So I kind of branched out. I hope you guys enjoyed that content. I want to really do more with 15 ways to fix the world in terms of putting that content out there and talking about who Richard is and what he's been about for forever, you guys. Like, I mean, this stuff was written in 2016. So, and he's not gone anywhere. He's still doing what he's doing, you know. Um, he's around. He is gonna come back. Just not the way, I don't think he's gonna come back in the way that everyone wants him to. I don't see that he would ever do another 4-hour live stream. I don't think he needs to. I don't think that that's who he is anymore. Don't we and don't we all evolve? If you're not evolving, if you're not becoming a better you, which this is a sci-fi thing he talks about, right? If you're not perfect, keep getting better. So Richard is doing just that. I think he's just going to keep getting better. So I don't think you'll ever see top hat, pink curtain Richard again. I don't think you're ever going to see outrage marketing Richard again. I don't think you're ever going to see sitting at the keyboard, answering questions in chat for 4 hours Richard again, because he continues to evolve. And he is all of those things and more now. So I think that he's absolutely going to come back, and it's just going to be this whole new version of him. And we're going to get to see, I think, this kind of culmination of all of these different pieces that he's been before. And I think that's going to be fucking glorious. I really, really do. I'm excited, having been where I was in the community and getting to be here to experience that. Because I think that this Richard that we're about to see, whenever that happens, I think that's the Richard that the world is going to see. I think that's the Richard that is going to make all of this super viral, and people are going to, he's going to be recognized. And that's the Richard that is going to be recognized, is this new edition, right, of him. So we're looking forward to that. And we're so early in crypto. We're so early in Hex. We're so early in this ecosystem. We're so early for Richard. We are at the precipice of all of this amazingness. And I'm so glad to be here with all of y'all. So to move on to my next topic that I wanted to cover, because I've had people say kind of thing, and it's really rubbed me the wrong way, because something you guys saw, if some of you saw on Twitter or on X the other day, a couple days ago, the bus had another issue, and thankfully it was minor, which most of it has been super minor. And it's frustrating, but at the same time, I'm a lucky individual. I will tell you what. I have the fortune of a gypsy or something, because I just am always constantly taken care of. And not just that, but I think it's karma too. I've really tried to live my life in such a manner that I don't harm anyone. And I really care for the people in my life. And I try and I strive to take care of those people. So it's been beautiful that I've had such great care taken of me. And not just from, not just reciprocally, but just in general in the world. And you guys, I mean, come on, think about it. People were like, oh, you should sell this bus and get a new one. Oh, what a waste of junk that thing is. And oh, this is just a money sinkhole. And oh, well, because, you guys, a lot of people are just seeing the problems, because I want to put more content out. In fact, on my Instagram, at awildsj on Instagram as well, I'm starting to do more different content there. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm starting to do a lot of van life, bus life kind of stuff. What am I eating? Like, where am I this time? What's going on? Like, how do I do this, that, or the other thing in the bus? So that's where I'm going to be doing more of that content and showing the better sides of it, right? Because I think what a lot of people have just seen over and over again is, oh, there's an issue. Oh, I have a problem. Oh, I need help with something, right? And that's on me for sure, right? I haven't done the best job of talking about all the great things, that happen in this bus, and just how wonderful it's been. And I mean, I guess it's been a minute since I've done that, right? But for example, this is a Berkey. It's a Berkey water filter right there. That Berkey was given to me by EcoBuilder. Thank you, EcoBuilder. Also, those knobs, these right here, I bought them, and EcoBuilder helped me put them on the cabinets. This clock was made by Hexagon, who goes by Z. This table that everything is sitting on right now has this beautiful etching in it of a lotus flower with, I think this one's the pulse symbol. Yeah, the lotus flower with a pulse symbol in it, which was made by Hexacasso. These here, these were done by Hexcellent Choice. It just looked like it was just like really all shoddy, gross wood before, and he made them all look beautiful. He installed my mini split over here. That got installed by Hexcellent Choice. I put these blinds in. I did that myself. I did that all by myself. And then, of course, the Schmeiris did the original paint job, did this beautiful gradient, did the wonderful PulseChain gradient all over this thing. And then also, and Sandra and Hexcellent Choice all helped paint the PulseChain logos on the outside. And I know that there's more. There's definitely more than just that. I mean, so many different, Side Effects, sweet friend. Thank you so much. Side Effects and Paladin YYZ both helped at the very beginning when I got the bus to just kind of check everything out, make sure it was fine. Which Side Effects I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have you check some things out. Have you worked on diesels now? I'm gonna have to take it to Slavko. But yeah, I definitely would love to have you just double check that everything's fine and dandy with it. All that to say, absolutely, this bus is a blessing more than anything else. For the last, what month is this? October. For the last nearly 10 months, I have lived the life of my dreams. I've been able to go all over this country. I'm not paying rent. I don't have any bills. Like, I'm living freely because this community has come together and allowed me to do so. And it's just been the most wonderful, fantastical, magical journey of my life. And I wouldn't change a damn thing for anything. This has been seriously life-changing for me. I mean, as if Hex and PulseChain community didn't change my life already before this. This has literally changed me from the inside out. I have never been happier in my life. I have never felt more fit or energetic or full of life and love and liberty. I can't, it's hard to express as someone who loves words and loves to write and loves to speak. It's nearly hard for me to put into words what this has done to me. I'm more confident than I've ever been in my entire life. I am more surrounded by people that are bringing me to the next level in my life. And I continually feel, this is a term that from my Bible days, iron sharpens iron, right? I feel so sharpened, and every time I get around another hexagon, or there's another meetup, or there's another conference, I learn something new. I meet someone who's got some awesome skill and they want to help me with a bus or do a thing, right? I mean, this is the beginning of my life. I've never felt more like I'm just on the edge of doing something great. And I've wanted that for so long. For so long, I have known that there is greatness within me and that I can contribute to the world in a wonderful way. But I didn't know how. I didn't know what that was going to look like, right? I got a little taste of it when I did acting, and I've talked about this recently a couple different times. But I knew that that wasn't it for me. I told my agent when I started doing acting, I said, I don't want to be a movie star and I don't want to be a TV star. I said, I don't want to do movies. I don't want to do television. So I did commercials. I did commercial acting. I did background acting. I did stand-in work. And that was fine with me. That was all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to, I was like, all right, if I can make money, right? If this is a thing that people want to see on a screen, then cool. Like, let's do that. But I'm not interested in being known for some film or some show, right? That was not what I was interested in doing. In fact, and I, again, I said this recently, but I turned down commercials. Budweiser, Burger King, no. Like, I'm not about it, so I'm not gonna represent it. So, and even before then, right? Like, knowing that I have some kind of influence. It took me years. It took me so long, you guys, to understand that about myself, to know that I have influence and that I impact a room when I walk in. Ask my mother. Ask my mom, y'all. She would just tell me how oblivious I am or had been for so long, just completely oblivious to the what is the word? The gravity, I guess, of who I am, right? Or who I can be. So to have found that here amongst just some of the most legendary humans I've ever had the pleasure of spending time with. I mean, y'all, RG3, this man, I've gotten to know him over the last few months. He's become one of my greatest friends and mentors, and I just cannot say enough about how much he cares for this community and how he wants to see these stadiums filled. I get chills now every time I hear him say that because I know it's going to happen. Because now I'm saying it too, right? So the more of us, the more there are of us saying things like that, the quicker it's going to happen. So I want you all to say with me, we are going to fill stadiums with people who are interested in learning about Hex and PulseChain. We are going to fill stadiums with people who are interested in learning about Hex and PulseChain. One more time. We are going to fill stadiums with people who are interested in learning about Hex and PulseChain and Richard Hart's ecosystem. Thank you very much. Good night. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go back to chat and then we're gonna end it because I do want to get going. I'm gonna drive for a little bit. I'm gonna get to my spot. I'm really excited about that. And I'm gonna have to not have to be on the road for a minute. It makes me happy. And again, I do love it. Driving this last leg from Atlanta to here has been really cool. I stopped in Alabama. And y'all, the South, I'm about it. I would love to go back to these places I had to just kind of drive through real quick. And I didn't really know what to expect, but man, Alabama, Mississippi, both of those states were gorgeous. The place I stayed in Mississippi, I could have spent 2 weeks there easy. It was just this adorable, you guys, y'all, it was the McDonald farm. I stayed on Old McDonald's farm in Mississippi. The couple were the McDonalds. The cutest, most southern, adorable couple. Butter my biscuit. She was, oh my God, they're so damn cute. They got married when she was 16 and he was 18, and they're in their 70s now. And I swear to you, I've almost never seen the stars so clearly. I haven't done this, and I need to do this more, especially as we continue this PulseChain tour. But I ended up sitting up on my deck on top of the bus, and I just sat there and I stared at the stars for like half an hour. I laid down for a little bit and just looked up, and it was just these beautiful tall pine trees and just the night sky. I mean, what more could you ask? That's me, right? Like that. My sweet little hippie soul was just vibrating and glowing and all sorts of magical things. So definitely want to go back and do things like that. Right. Chat. Okay. So Moondog says, last I was aware, they hadn't even done a recognized service yet, but that was secondhand, and I'm neck deep fighting corrupt state officials of mine own these months. Ooh. DYOR. Okay, thank you. I will do that. Crypto Chillax says, RH, squeaky wheel gets the grease, or the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Interesting. I never heard about the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. That's intense. That is intense. Moondog also says, oh, you guys, you're talking to each other. I guess that's kind of, I'll read this because it is in reference to what we were talking about. Can't theoretically versus in practice, but you aren't wrong about border patrol. Border patrol. Have some fun personal stories about Eagle Pass, in fact, for those who are curious and catch up IRL meetup. Hope to see you again in Austin or Dallas, Moondog. And also, game wardens have special exceptions to reasonable search and seizure. Interesting. Side Effects says, yes, don't play with a game warden. ATX Crypto says, RH is going to come back with clear mental state and elevate it to the next frequency that will help shed so much wisdom. Yes, 110%. That is exactly what I'm saying, sir. Exactly. Moondog says, not that regular cops actually need an articulable reason anymore. They've gotten so creative. They can just charge the property or money with crimes and subvert all natural rights. But I digress. Side Effects says, she's not lying. One of the best humans I've ever known. Love you, girl. This is me. Thank you. I have a special exemption as a I have a special Thothschild says I have a special exemption as a son of God to not participate in psychopathic dark occult dystopian slavery. Y'all have fun with that. But Hexicans, not gonna be able to deal with it. Did I do that right? Moondog says I have a similar feeling talking about Richard. My personal spidey senses tell me he's actively leveling up to slay more dragons and bring even more gold back to the castle dominion. Hashtag Hexico! Let's go! LFG, I love it. I believe that 100%. Hex Evolved Lazy Boy. Hey, good to see you. I don't think I've seen you in my chats before. Welcome. Hex Evolved Lazy Boy says, I would love to have a bus like that. Well, it may be for sale. Bull run, if the bull run comes. We'll see. Or I might just like totally like, I don't know, renovate it. No, I might sell it. We'll see. We'll see. It's tough to drive. If I can figure out a way to make it work so that it's not as difficult to drive. But I do like taking my time. I kind of like that it forces me to only drive 2 to 3 hours a day. Because it's taxing to drive. Sweet Side Effects says, I'll look it over. Thank you, friend. Love you. Thothschild says, heart, flex, fire, crown, hearts. ATX Crypto says, Moondog gets it. Yes, he does. Next Evolved says, no, don't go. Claus says, great work, SJ. Appreciate you. Thank you, lady. Appreciate you too. Moondog says, SJ, I was in the question line trying to coax one of my kiddos to share a dad joke with RH to make him smile at HexCon a couple years ago. Point in following comment. Moondog continues, he chickened out before we got up there, but I still remember the bright look and fire you put in Rich's eyes, bringing up Sci-Vive. Mad props, and you definitely matter, make a major impact. Thank you. I seriously don't think I've cried of happiness more than I have this year. I've cried tears of happiness on more occasions than I can count because I'm just so happy. I mean, it's funny. There's been 2 people in my life who kind of like 3 people who kind of started shit with me, or like, workplace drama gossip, right? Back when I used to work a regular, zombie 9-to-5 job, and they were all women. And I remember on multiple, like basically each of them, the thing that they hated me for, or that they started talking shit, was because I couldn't possibly be this happy. I got shit talked because I was living a happy life and being exuding positivity, which is that's me. I've come to learn, like, I'm just gonna do that because that's what I do. That's how I exist in this world, is I'm a happy, positive person. And, and I'm not naive. I'm not. I understand that there is dire shit going on everywhere all the time. In my world, though, where I am right now, which is the only place that I can be, right, is this present moment. Y'all, if you have a chance, check out the effing hangout from last night. Yeah, last night. Cosmic Cowboy, Kool-Aid, Thothschild, myself, RG. I feel like I'm missing someone. But we had a great chat. Talked about serendipity, talked about positivity. It was a good one. But anyways, I mean, that's just, it just goes to show you, haters are just gonna hate. right? People, bless their hearts, right? They're just so miserable in their own world that they have to go out and lash out at other people who are happy and doing fine because they want to bring you down into their misery. And don't let them do that. Don't let anyone drag you down. It can be difficult sometimes because, of the 10,000 lovely comments we get, there's this one comment in 10,000 that just hurts, it stings. When people talk shit about me in this bus, it hurts me. I'm just like, man, like, what what have I done other than onboard tons of people and continue to build this community through a wretched bear market? Like, why come at me that way? But I just have to keep in mind that that's such a small fraction, right? And that those people are hurting, right? Hurt people hurt people. And healed people heal people, and I'm about it. I'm just magically healing everyone the way that I hope to or can. Susie Q, sweetheart, good to see you. Susie Q says, what a wonderful stream, beautiful SJ. XOXO. Susie Q, I hope to hang out with you again soon. I'd like to go back up to Northern California. There's a really just awesome vibe up there. Got to meet a good handful of Hexicans up in that area that I really vibed with. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get back up there soon. Side Effect says he's accumulating life shares to destroy L shares to the moon. And then Side Effects is saying hi to Susie. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, that's it, y'all. That's it. That's the end of the comments. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Hex is the goat. PulseChainTour.com. We're going to Miami. I'll be there Friday through Monday of this coming week. It's going to be fantastic. I'm really stoked. I started seeing more people buying tickets. We're trying to get a special guest speaker out there, so we'll see what happens. But either way, it's going to be a blast. RG's presentation is always on point, super fire, great information. Looking forward to seeing who comes out and seeing what Miami's about. I've only been there a couple times and did not get to spend a lot of time out there. I did go to a drum and bass club or two, I think, the last time I was out there. So that was a blast. I'll have to see if we can do that again. I really loved the arts district. There's like lots of street art and stuff like that. That's one other thing I got to experience. So yeah, gonna hang out in Miami. After Miami, we got Dallas, Austin, Phoenix, and then the cruise out of LA. And then in the works on this Las Vegas event sometime in January, which may be the kickoff to PulseChain Tour 2024. We'll see. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for being my friends and family and being part of this community. Let's fill those stadiums, y'all. Stay with me. We're going to fill some stadiums. So excited to be here and to have you all in my life. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.